Welcome to the first edition of the GBA podcast. This is Seth Balno. I'm the president of the GBA. Today is September 27th, 2018, and we are super lucky to have in the studio today, in the flesh, Ebby Ezema. Welcome, Ebby.
Thank you, Seth. It's a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure to be here. Definitely a pleasure to be one of the first guests.
What do you mean one? The first? You're the trailblazer.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Happy to have you. And let's start things off by learning just a little bit about you. So catch us up. What's your story? Where are you from? Where you've been? And how'd you get to where you are now?
Essentially, so I was born in Nigeria. Both my parents are Nigerians. We moved to Jamaica when I was 5. I was raised in Jamaica, hence the mix in the accent you might hear. If you're friends with more Caribbean folks, I sound more Jamaican. If you have more African friends, then I sound a little bit more Nigerian. But grew up in Jamaica. Then I came to the States when I was 15, United States, when I was 15 for high school. Stayed there for 3 years in Massachusetts. This was the McDuffie School in Springfield, Mass.
The McDuffie School.
The McDuffie School.
Okay.
Yeah, this was in Springfield, Mass. I wanted to see snow, so why not go north? After that, I got enough of the snow and came down south to Louisiana, Thibodaux, Louisiana, Nicholls State. I did my undergrad there. Then I went to Houston for a little bit, and now I'm in Tampa, Florida. Just finished my MBA, so got that out of the way.
Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much my life story in terms of how I've moved about and how I got to where I am now.
Okay. And it sounds like from what you were just telling me, you have family still everywhere. Like you have family all over the place. You have a big family.
Oh yeah. So I'm one of 6, 5 by blood. So I'm the second son. I have 3 other brothers, and the youngest is my sister. And then we have my cousin who my parents adopted. So he's like my 4th brother, if you want to call him that way. So essentially, my sister is in Worcester, Mass. Same for my adopted brothers in Massachusetts as well. The youngest boy is in Canada. 2 brothers still in Louisiana. They both got married to women from Louisiana, from Lafayette. My mom, she's in Cayman, and then my dad, he just refuses to leave Jamaica.
All right.
So that's where the family is. We're all kind of spread out.
All right, and then so you've been in Florida for about 3 years, right?
Yes, that's about right.
And then how soon after you got to Florida, because you just finished your MBA, right? So you just graduated in the summer?
Yes, that's correct.
Congratulations. How soon after did you start at USF St. Pete?
So once I got here, immediately, I came here for school. That was the main purpose for me coming to Florida, was for school and to set myself up to find opportunities immediately after school. So I came here fall 2016, immediately went to school, USF St. Pete, and I've loved every minute of it since.
Nice.
up until graduation as well.
And you were in the GBA as well, right?
I was in the GBA. I was actually the first as a member, and then I was the second vice president of the organization. So I take full great pride to see the progress the GBA has made. Yeah, I'm again lovely, the best graduate organization that there is on campus. What we try to do with the GBA is definitely to connect people beyond just the academic. I think professional and personal development is equally important as just strictly academic development.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah. And then even just last year, Alex brought on the help that we're doing with Project Prosper.
Yes.
So we're doing a lot of fun projects with them.
Yes. So I hope to be invited to these things. Just because I'm an alumni now doesn't mean you forget about me. I'd love to keep in touch with the GBA. So it's definitely
keep you on the list.
Please do. Please do.
All right. So you started the MBA program a couple years ago. You had a focus. You were focused on the business analytics track, right?
Initially, I actually came here to do the finance track. The business analytics concentration did not exist at that time. So I wanted to do finance. My interest at the time was definitely in finance. But once they introduced the business analytics concentration, I took a few classes, data viz, database management, and I fell in love with it. And I figured it would be a great complement to the finance focus track. And then that's actually what led me to pursue my master's, my other master's. So I'm trying to do a dual master's in business analytics. So beyond just the concentration, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the subject itself because it complements what I'm really trying to do beyond just, financial knowledge for personal gain.
And so you graduated with the MBA,
Yes.
Just a couple months ago, a few months ago.
Yes, someone.
And then now you're full-time enrolled in a new program over at the main campus.
I love to learn. What can I say?
And you're doing the master. What's the program? It's Masters in Business Analytics?
Yes.
Okay.
MS in Business Analytics and Information Systems. Yes.
Fantastic.
So the difference between that and what I did in my concentration actually is this one focuses more on statistical analysis, whereas the business analytics concentration here was more about application. So business applications, so developing databases, data visualization, so things that are immediate use, more like a user interface almost. Whereas the one in Tampa is definitely more for statistical analysis.
Okay.
So two different programs, but I just love this stuff. It's phenomenal.
It's great.
I can't get enough, honestly.
It's exciting.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right. And so you're at main campus now. You're doing full-time classes.
Yes.
You're trying to knock through that in the next year.
Yes.
You're working part-time here under Eric's team
Yes.
at the St. Pete campus. Don't have a lot of free time on your hands.
I have enough.
Okay.
I don't do well with a lot of free time. So the amount of free time I do have, it's perfect. It's perfect for me. I think if I have too much free time, my mind usually turns to mush. Seriously.
Yeah, I find that too. It's like if you have all the free time in the world, you end up accomplishing very little.
Yes.
And then the more, the busier your schedule becomes, you tend to somehow find room to just cram more and more in.
Exactly, because you're forcing yourself to allot your time to these particular activities, right?
Yep.
And you know that if you miss the allotted time, it's going to bleed into something else that's equally as important.
Yep.
So you weight it very, very heavy. The minute you're tasked to do something, you just focus on it because you know something else is coming down the pipeline. You do not have the luxury of procrastination. So I agree 100%. If you can keep yourself busy, you should.
Yeah.
It definitely leads to being more productive, I find.
And how do you tend to recharge? Do you certain special workout, or do you recharge by being around people? Like what's your thing?
That's a really good question. For me, recharge during the week. It's gonna make me sound a little bit more nerdy than I usually am, but I typically. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm playing chess. I find chess relaxes me.
You should have told me this beforehand. I could have brought a chessboard out. We could be playing right now.
Seth, I'm warning you right now. You don't want it.
Okay.
You truly.
Okay.
Like for me, yes, chess is a hobby, but at one point I tried to learn as many chess strategies there were. So let's just say I'm above
What's your
average.
favorite chess move? Skewer, like the castle. What do you have? What do you got?
I mean, what do you mean? Like an opening, like Scandinavian, or?
Ooh, you're dropping Scandinavian.
Are you talking just moves like? Okay, if you're saying castle, yeah, I will. You castle whenever you can, but I'm very much a. So I find this might be going a little bit away from what you want, but with chess, what I do like about it, it's very much an end game focus. So I'm very aggressive at the beginning. I shouldn't be giving away all my secrets right now. But I'm very aggressive in the
because you know we're gonna play now.
Oh, of course, of course, and I look forward to it.
I look forward to it too.
But I find that what really differentiates, like the really good ones from the regular players is that end game, right? So I try to get to the end game pretty quickly. So I'm very aggressive. Like it's not a.
Oh, I'm writing this down.
Oh, no, but I mean, you can definitely disagree with me on this, but you can tell in terms of chess is definitely an attrition game. It's not a build up game. It's get rid of many pieces as possible until you're left with who has the best piece to get the checkmate. So which kind of mirrors my life. I tend to be end game focused, which hurts me a little bit in the build up, but I typically focus a lot on the end game. So chess mirrors my approach to chess mirrors my approach to life somewhat.
You have a favorite chess player?
I'll be lying if I said I do. The only person I know, Magnus Carlsen, is like the big guy right now. But I
saw a video of Magnus playing. He was playing blind chess, so he was turned around, not even looking at the boards, and he was playing against like 10 chess masters, and he was just whooping all of them. Have you seen this? You have to go see this video. It's incredible. Seen this. I think he won every match. Memorizes all the positions, all the moves.
Yeah,
he has the whole game planned out before he even starts.
He's phenomenal. In terms of even just the human mind.
I don't even think Bobby Fischer did that. I mean, this is next level chess mastery.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a whole different level. One of my wishes would be to, because he plays online from time to time too, right? Yeah. So if I could get to play him by some random luck, that would be great for me. I know I'd lose within 6 moves or something.
You'd
but
probably be playing against 30 people at once.
Anyways, right? Exactly. But I'd love to play him just to get a gauge of what he's really like. It's one thing to watch him, but then to play against him, that's gotta be nerve wracking.
I mean, I was watching a biography of this guy, and he has a whole workout routine. He travels so much. I mean, he's like professional poker player, someone who's just at the tables all day. They have to eat well, they have to exercise, or they have to train like professional athletes.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Whereas for him, it's the mind as opposed to the body, right? So, and that takes a lot more. Well, let me not say anything, but I think it takes a little bit more work to really hone the mental aspect, as opposed to the physical aspect. So kudos to him. I'm nowhere near his level. But I think I'll hold my own against you. You seem to know more than you let on, definitely. But I think I'd hold my own against you.
We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do a live broadcast of our chess game.
If you're willing to take that risk.
No chance.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll play a quick this or that game. So
I love the
morning person or evening person?
Definitely an evening person.
All right. Beach or city?
So because I grew up on an island, a lot of people say, "Oh, definitely beach," but really and truly, I'm a city person. Fun fact: I actually don't know how to swim.
You don't know how to swim?
Yes. So I grew up on an island surrounded by water. I can't swim. A lot of people have tried to teach me, but I'm the only one out of my family. I guess my mother and I are the only two that don't know how to swim. The rest of my siblings, my dad, I believe, knows how to swim.
Is this something that you you're in school, you're learning all these new skills, years of your life dedicated to education. How about taking a swim class? What do you think? Maybe that's the one thing we get out of this is we have this. This is like a mini intervention for Ebby to sign up for a swim class.
I will. I can take there's swim lessons here on campus. Actually on campus. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of people have been telling me I need to take advantage of it. I just never got around to it. It's one of those things where you need to do it. Yeah. But
it's like me taking a CPR class. I know I have to do it. I don't want to just watch YouTube videos. I want to have somebody telling me, yes, you know what you're doing.
Exactly. So I plan to learn it at least before I complete this MS. That would be my goals. That's my goal.
Okay.
I just need to learn how to thread really
before you graduate.
Before I graduate.
So you're saying this live.
I've said
live,
it.
But you're saying this now. It's on the recorded line.
Yes, I've said it, and I will learn. I will learn. Okay. You've made me commit to it.
All right. Cable or Netflix?
Oh, Netflix for sure. Cut cable.
Classroom or online?
So this one, 100% classroom, no doubt.
For the MS or for everything?
For anything related to academic development.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I find that the information you get, yes, it's important, but the people you're surrounded with is equally, if not more important to me. So classroom, you get that instant dynamic between the professor and the student. And then my peers, I actually get to speak to them beyond just a messaging board. I don't do well with messaging like text and all that stuff. So speaking to someone is definitely my preference. I can get a gauge for their vibe, if you want to call it that, but just who they are, looking at their response to what I'm saying, look them in the eye as well, So I prefer classroom settings. I prefer face-to-face interactions as well. So definitely classroom.
Apple or Android?
I've had both.
Okay.
I initially started off.
We have now. We have. I think I see an iPhone over there.
I have an iPhone 8, so I'm Apple now. I started off with the 4, and then I went to Samsung. This was Galaxy 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Galaxy 4, and I liked the customization that Android provides. Yeah. Back then, I was really big into customization, but over time, the ease that Apple provides is what I'm really for, or I go for now. And pretty much I was a part of the whole Apple ecosystem. So I had an iPhone, MacBook. I had an iPad, but my mom took that from me.
You don't sound bitter at all.
No. I was happy to give it to her. She's using it for her studies. Okay. So she's doing a little side certificate right now. So she needed something to use. She didn't have any she didn't have a laptop, so I was like, hey, just take the iPad. So
great. Yeah. All right. We'll have to talk to your mom after this and see if we can get that back.
No, we're not. In fact, we're never getting that back. No, for sure. She loves the iPad, so she's. I don't mind. She can have it. She can keep it. She's done so much for me already. So one of the iPad, she probably paid for it. So.
All right. So you lived in Jamaica for a while.
Yes.
I know you play soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer or football? What's it? What do they call? They call it football.
We call it football. Okay. Definitely
is
football.
Is it just wherever you currently are in that moment is how you refer to the sport? Football, soccer.
No,
because Americans we don't know what we don't know what to call it.
So for me, this is the truth, right?
And it's not our sport. So
not yet. Not yet. It's becoming. But where I lie on this is like I call it football, and what I consider or what Americans consider football, I just put the American football. I preface it by saying American. Yeah. I think because to me, the global football is what you call soccer, which is football, and then the one that's more localized is American. So
maybe we should talk to the NFL, and it should be the NAFL, the National American Football League.
I think so. That would be a more appropriate.
Much more appropriate.
Yeah. But if I'm around I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, you must call it football unless I'll get really upset. It's just if you're coming to me and you're saying, oh, football, which is what I've heard, I'm kind of like, nah. You can say soccer. But football to me sounds a little silly. Yeah. But or if I'm around internationals immediately I'm like, oh yeah, I like soccer, and they're like, wait, where are you from? And I was like, oh, sorry, football. So I correct myself amongst internationals. But whenever I'm around like my American friends, immediately I switch. Yeah. You adjust. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. All right, last one here. So phone call or text? If someone is desperately trying to get a hold of you, ask your opinion of the name of a sport or something, what's the best way to get a hold of you? And I know the answer to this. But.
So the reason I'm laughing is, yes, I prefer phone call. Mm-hmm. But I need to clear something up as it relates to texting.
Okay. What's your message to the world as it relates to texting?
Texting to me is not the same as instant messaging. Okay, texting to me is more like a post-it note. It is a hey, FYI, XYZ. If we're going to have a conversation, call is how I believe. You should just call and say what you need to say. I can hear from your tone, or I can infer from your tone what it is you're trying to tell me. I don't like to interpret for people because my interpretation could be way off.
Yeah.
People LOL here, and I'm kind of like, what? That wasn't that funny. That's type of deal. So, or they say something that might be sarcastic, and I just don't know. So, definitely call for me. Like phone call, I believe is the way. If you text me, I will respond eventually, but
eventually. Okay. All right. So if you want a quick answer, phone call, leave a voicemail.
Definitely leave a voicemail.
The longer the message, the better, right?
Yes, 100%.
All the details. Just leave
as much detail as you can. No room for error.
Okay. I agree. I think people underrate.
Yes. Yes, we got one.
I still appreciate the text. All right, fine. I'll give it to you.
Do you know what I'm doing now?
Underrated.
What I'm actually doing now is, because you can send voice recordings, right?
Oh, yeah. That's an interesting hybrid for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the recorded voice? It's like it's sent through the SMS system.
Yeah, I love it.
You like that?
Oh, yeah. Some of my friends make fun of me for it because they're like, why are you sending your voice over the phone? But I prefer those. I like those, actually.
Okay.
Because then, again, no room for error. You can do quick 1, 2, 3s via that. Yeah. So I do really appreciate that.
I remember when there was a service that came out where you could record, not like what we just described, but you could record an actual voicemail and send it through the voicemail system to somebody's phone. And so I think people were starting to take advantage of that. They didn't want to talk to the person, but they wanted to get credit for calling.
Right.
So, sorry I missed you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And that got people into some trouble. So.
It sounds like something I would have done.
I'm so sorry I missed you.
Yeah, definitely sounds like something I would have done. There's so many good ideas that relate to communication, so this is one of them. So maybe these days I'll stay away from that, but I prefer the voice text.
And staying on that topic of communication, so you are doing the MS right now in business analytics, which is all about communication. It's all about communicating data, organizing data in special ways, so that way you can actually tell a story to the audience. So what is it? So you have this program that you're in for the next year or so. So what do you see yourself getting into in the next 1 to 2 years as you complete the program and move along?
So definitely completing the program within the next year. That's 100% in my plans. Beyond that, I'd like to be working as a data scientist. I find being able to provide insight with the amount of data we have these days, insight to help make critical business decisions. I find that to be such a rewarding experience. In addition to that, it's a problem solving. Every day is a challenge when it comes to data analysis. So trying to solve these issues not by gut feeling, but with actual data, I think is definitely the way every single industry is going to go. I think you find very few industries that just rely on people's gut feeling. So ideally, I'd want to be working as a data scientist within the next year or so. In terms of location, I'd want to be in St. Pete, the Tampa Bay area. I've fallen in love with this place. Absolutely love this place. I've made a lot of really good friends here. And I'd like to maintain that network I've developed here. And I'd like to maintain all the friendships that I have here. This place is as close to home as I can in America so far, to be perfectly honest. But I'm not whenever it comes to home, I leave. Whenever the opportunity calls me, you go. So I'm again, in terms of location, I'm willing to go wherever the opportunity is, wherever I can be most successful. Like we say, success waits for no one. So take it when you can.
I like it.
Yeah.
So when you have people come to visit you, you have family from all over. Yeah. So people come visit you. What are some places that you do with them, or what are some things that you do with them in St. Pete? What are some of your favorite places to take them to in St. Pete?
Oh, every single one that's visited me, without a doubt, they go to Bodega or Green Bench, but definitely Bodega. You can't visit me here and I don't take you to Bodega. That's like my go-to for food here. And then I usually take them to Sundial. I get my sister and my mother are probably the ones that have visited me the most. And they're in love with the place. It's just it's so picturesque, you know. So we usually go to either Bodega or the Sundial. Definitely take them a little walk along Beach Drive. So they can think they're in a big city, but they're really not. So,
that's one of the cool things about St. Pete. I mean, you ask people that were living here 10 years ago, and it was, not to say it was a wasteland, but it was closer to a wasteland than what it is right now. And it seems to be very thriving, and a lot of money and a lot of educated people that are living in this area right now. And it's really starting to build the place up. So
yes. That's what I hear all the time from people. Is like, it used to be a retiree city.
Yeah.
By the time I got here, that was not the case.
Yeah.
It was already thriving in terms of developing or business opportunities here, attracting a lot of young professionals here. So the retirees are definitely still here, but you also have that influx of young professionals, and just the university itself. A lot of students are coming to this school now. A lot of people are attracted to USF St. Pete. It's a wonderful campus. It's a beautiful campus, beautiful location.
Perfect location.
Yes, indeed.
Great staff, great instructors.
Exactly. So there's a nice little balance right now of the old St. Pete that the retirees know, and this young, thriving, high-tech St. Petersburg that's developing alongside that retiree. So I love that about this city. You have both. Because I'm kind of, I have a classic, as you say, traditional mindset, but I'm also very much engaged in the youthfulness that there is out there in life right now. So
great. Yeah. Well, as we wrap up, anyone you wanted to kind of give a little shout out to, say hi
absolutely,
to?
Absolutely. Can I shout out two people? Is that
okay? I'll let you shout out two people.
Thank
in the spirit of this being our first episode.
Thank you. The two people, and these are two individuals that have been extremely important for my development here and for the successes that I've had here. First person is Eric Doutert. He's the director of the graduate program here at USF St. Pete. He would never take credit for it, but I truly, truly think many of the successes that I've had while I was here were directly or indirectly related to him and the opportunities he's provided for me here, from hiring me as a graduate student assistant to mentoring me when it comes to career decisions. He's someone that student success is his number one priority. A lot of people say it, but he truly lives it. So I'm speaking from personal experience. He's definitely helped me navigate what it means to be an MBA student or a graduate student, and what it takes to be successful here in the United States as well. So that's someone that I have high respect for. And
I couldn't agree more. He's been great with everything that we've worked together on the GBA and beyond. So
yes,
couldn't agree with you more.
Yes. Yeah. And then the other person. So thank you, Eric, by the way. if you listen to this,
he'll be our one listener.
No, we'll have more. And the other person is Paulo Garcia. He's pretty much like, if not my best friend here in St. Pete, that's like my guy. He's definitely helped me on a more student level. Like Eric is more of like the mentor, but Paulo is definitely more of the friend level of, hey, there's more to life than just studying. So keeping me engaged, especially he was the one that got me involved with GBA.
I see.
Yeah, he was. When I first came here, I just thought, I'd just go to school, get my degree, and go work.
Yep.
And then Paul was like, no. There's more to graduate school than just the academics. You need to be involved. You need to develop a professional network. So the GBA was that means for me, that avenue to develop professionally as well as that network, right? So Paulo, even beyond GBA, helped me find a place to live. Crazy enough. So he's definitely like my right-hand man out here. I owe him a lot. He will take credit. Where Eric wouldn't take credit, Paulo will gladly take credit. So
well, he's a great guy. He deserves to take the credit.
Yeah, so. He is. So shout out to the two of them. And then to everybody else. Yeah.
Oh, and everyone else, you know who you are.
Yeah, of course they do. They do. For me to stay here and shout out, we'll be here all night. Honestly, so many people have been instrumental in my development here. The only reason why I mentioned those two specifically is because of how closely they are tied to my successes here. It's not just here and there, like on a daily basis, if not weekly basis. I've been in touch with both individuals actually. So yeah.
Great answers.
Thank you. Oh, but they deserve it.
Yeah.
And if anyone that's coming into the program, I highly suggest finding some kind of mentorship or someone that can
find a way to get involved, to be more part of the
absolutely
program here, beyond just the classroom.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what the graduate experience is really about. It's that development beyond academic. It really makes a difference.
Totally agree.
Whether or not you'll enjoy your time here. The information is good. Don't get me wrong, information is phenomenal. But the people you're here going to school with, wow. That's all I can say. Really.
Well said. Well, thank you again. We really can't thank you enough for being here today for our
Thank you for having me.
Inaugural recording for our new podcast series for the Graduate Business Association. Yes. And we're looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Same here. Keep me in mind. And I wish you all the best of success. You guys are doing wonderful things right now with the GBA. And I look forward to being invited. Keep me in mind.
Of course.
So
it'll be my first phone call I make.
Thank you. No text.
I won't text you.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you very much.
Thank you.